Good morning. I think we're working. It's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to pull some cards and share some guidance for this week ahead, starting Wednesday the 20th of April through till Tuesday the 26th of April 2022. So welcome, I trust you're well. I can't see anything here. I think I'm working. Everything's very bright. But yeah, I think we might be going okay. So welcome. While you're coming in, I want to send out an extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light family, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. So this is a new the weekly guidance is starting now for at least the next couple of months on a Wednesday and going till Tuesday because of things that are happening in my lifestyle and my schedule, so it's more suitable for me at the moment to be streaming on a Wednesday for the most part, rather than the usual Monday. So for now, this is just the way it is. It might go back to Mondays once I get settled, but we will just see. So I trust it's still the same days, isn't it? So I trust you've been led here for a reason, and I trust that something shared supports you at this time. I will be using my combined Animal Kingdom Oracle cards with my Speed of Light Oracle. There are 110 cards in this deck, and I'll be using this deck to find the best cards for this week ahead from Wednesday till Tuesday. I'm not pulling cards for individuals. This is general guidance for everyone, so I trust that something resonates and supports you. So as always, please take on board what feels right and what does resonate and what fits into your life easily. Really pay attention to the things that seem like I'm talking directly to you, that it's just you and me here. They're the things to really pay attention to, and let everything else go. If something doesn't resonate, it's probably meant for somebody else, so just let it go. So thank you. So I think we're working. I can see Tash has commented, and Tanya, good morning ladies and everybody. So we seem to be good to go. So while I'm shuffling and preparing to get the cards for the week, a recap on last week's theme card were the owls, and the owls talked about the power of observation and reminding us to observe, to watch, to wait, to listen, to really pay attention to what's going on around us. And if some of us were lucky enough to have the green light turn on last week, then that green light turning on was our sign, our signal to go, to take action. So that was our theme last week. It certainly resonated with me. I don't know about you and how your week turned out, but our attention is now being diverted to our new week, starting Wednesday the 20th of April through till Tuesday the 26th of April 2022. So I'm shuffling the cards, and I want the best cards that the majority of us need to make their way to the top of the deck. So the best cards for this week ahead are these, and I'm just going to duck out of shot and put the cards down here. So I'll be back in a second. Not that I'm really going anywhere. Okay, we have 5 Animal Kingdom Oracles and 3 Speed of Light. I'm going to turn those over now. Okay, we have one featured card, which is featured timing card. This is Stellar Cycle, and up here it says to take the 4th card from the top of the deck to add with it. So I go back to my deck and we go down to card 1, 2, 3, 4. Is this card here? What is it? Oh, it's the lizard, another featured card. So up here it says to take the 3rd card from the top of the deck. So I go back down now to card number 3, which is this card here. the Cockatoo, be compromising. So these three cards have come up together for a reason, and we'll talk more about them when their time comes. So let's start. We've got a fair few cards for this week, so let's get started. The beginning of the week, meaning Wednesday. So the beginning of this reading week that I'm focusing on, Wednesday the 20th, is this card called Overlapping Worlds. It's card 23, and it says transition, sensitivity, temporary, and adjustment. This is talking about us being in between things at the moment, or being what I like to call being in a time of transition. This is where we're, a door hasn't fully closed yet, but also the new door hasn't fully opened yet. And we might feel like we're hovering around in the hallway, waiting for the old door to close and waiting for the new door to open. The best example of being in a time of transition is when we are in between moving house. And we're finalising packing and still living in our old house, but we've got the new place that we're going to, that we're looking forward to, that we're imagining ourselves at, and we're not quite there yet though physically. So it's a bit unsettling, these periods of transition, a bit unsettling as we sort of adjust to closing doors and opening new doors and waiting for time to pass. What is a fact about all times of transition is that they are always temporary, so they're not permanent, they're not forever, even though it can feel that way. So it's a temporary time period, and we are preparing to move into a new space or a new place, maybe quite physically for some of us. So we might feel quite sensitive, we might feel like we're on high alert, or we're highly sensitive at this time, and that's also really normal when we're in times of transition. So the best thing we can do is just get through our day, tend to what needs tending to, and keep going day by day. Every day we get through is a day closer to that new door opening. So that's for the beginning of the week, and in fact it feels like I forget what you call them. It's like a crescendo in music. So like in mathematics, it's like the greater than, or, you know, that sort of triangle that's open-ended. And it feels like this is starting on Wednesday, but then expanding through the week. So this time of transition encompasses these next few days, if not these current sort of weeks at this time. So we're still on Wednesday, and it's Tiger Claws coming up, card 40. It says down here to stand your ground, to speak up, take action, and find courage. So this is an assertive card, and there may be something that's required of us on Wednesday that requires us to step up, speak up, stand our ground, perhaps even clear the air, maybe get our claws into a situation that has become stagnant or uncomfortable, and look at that assertive energy that's required to help clear the energy, clear the air, so things can become resolved, is the feeling here. So let's stand our ground, speak up as we need to. Now moving on to Thursday, let's get all these cards here. Thursday the 21st of April. We've got these three cards have come up together for Thursday. So they've come up together for a reason, and we're going to look at them separately, and then we'll look at their relationship together. So we start with the first card, which is card 55, called Stellar Cycle. It says 1 year. So it talks about the long term. And at this time, and maybe especially for Thursday for some of us, we are thinking in the long term. We're thinking, what are we doing for the next year? What are we doing for the next few years? So there is this long-term forecast, this long-term planning, or these long-term changes that are in effect now, that are affecting us in the long term. So especially from April this year to April next year, but it feels like it could go on for longer. So this is a long-term plans, long-term changes are happening now, especially on Thursday, but at this time. Now, it comes up with this card, number 3, called the Lizard, and the Lizard says to stay optimistic, appearances, delusion, and illusion. So this is saying that things may not be as they seem or as they appear to us on the surface. And this card is suggesting that we drop deeper and ask more questions, get more information, so we can drop deeper under the surface to get the information that's required, the knowledge, the information, the perspective. And so we've got a bigger, so we can see more of the bigger picture, if you like. So this card's not saying to not go ahead. It's saying that we need more information so that we're better informed to make a better decision, if it's a decision that we're preparing to make for the long term this week. And then it comes up with the Cockatoo, card 47. And the Cockatoo says to be compromising and to find a compromise. So there might be a compromise that is being reached, or a compromise that we're working out with another party or another person. Maybe we are needing to compromise with ourselves, compromise in our relationships. So with these three cards coming up, it's highlighting that there's something going on, especially on Thursday, but at this time, that is to do with the long term for us, to do with the next year, or the rest of this year at least, at the very least. It's likely connected with changes, and we've been encouraged to seek more information. Don't trust things completely at face value, but ask the questions, get more information, this sort of thing, so we're better informed and better equipped to make a decision, if that's what we need to do. And that there may be something we need to find a compromise with other parties or other people that are connected with this particular long-term situation. Now, for me, I can understand that this has already came up. In fact, this is relevant for me for yesterday. So it feels to me like, even though I'm talking about Thursday, it's around this time period, is that these types of things might be coming up for some of us. So then we move to Friday the 22nd of April. We've got card 33, the Giraffe. And the Giraffe says to look at things differently. So this is about shifting our perspective and looking things in a new way, or from a new light, from a new angle, from a new viewpoint. Now, sometimes it is because we get more information, we ask the questions, we maybe do some research or study in an area that we are not very well informed about. So this type of information gathering can be really valuable in helping us see a bigger perspective, or the bigger picture here. So there might be something that we're looking at very closely, something that we feel is a big problem, where actually if we step back we might notice that it's not that much of a problem at all. So let's keep perspective of things, especially on Friday. Now moving to Saturday, the 23rd of April, and we have the Sea Dragon, card 18, and the Sea Dragon says to be gentle with yourself. So treating ourselves gently and kindly may be really important for Saturday. So we may feel a bit fragile or sensitive, and that gentleness and the kind way that we treat ourselves might be quite important, so that we're not too harsh or too self-critical moving forward. In fact, sometimes I find it helpful, if I'm feeling particularly fragile or vulnerable or sensitive, is to remind myself just to go gently. Or just go gently today. Don't put too much pressure on myself if I'm feeling that way, and just let myself sort of ride the waves, or ride through, flow through that fragility, that raw state, if you like. So that's for Saturday. Be gentle with yourself. Let's just do a check-in, make sure I'm actually still here streaming. Oh, I can see some comments. Hi, Annie. Excellent. Thanks, guys. It's very bright, as you can probably tell, so I can't see anything but black. Okay, let's move now. So that was Friday, Saturday. Let's move to Sunday. Sunday, the 24th of April. We have the Masked Owl, card 49, and it says to stay optimistic. So over the weekend, and especially towards Sunday, so at the end of the weekend, we're being reminded to stay optimistic, and it's not the time now to give up. So there may be some type of setback, or something that's not really moving very well or very smoothly at this time, that we might feel that we need to encourage ourselves to stay optimistic about. It's definitely not the time to give up, and it is time to keep going, or to redirect our mind so that we can move from an unhopeful perspective into an optimistic perspective. So do we need to encourage ourselves? Do we need to reassure ourselves that things will turn out okay? So there's this sort of thing. We may need to pep talk ourselves to reassure ourselves, to stay optimistic, to stay hopeful that things will work out, and things are working out, even if we're not really seeing that they're working out yet. So let's stay optimistic as we round off or close off the weekend, is the feeling. And then we start the week. So start the new week, Monday the 25th of April, with card 45, the Turtle. And the Turtle says slow and steady. So this is about finding a slow, it can be slow, but generally a slow but a steady pace on Monday. So we might find that over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and even into Monday, that things might be moving a bit slow. We might feel a bit heavy. We might feel like we're dragging our feet, or we're overly sensitive, perhaps over emotional. And on Monday, we're being reminded just to find a steady pace that is consistent, that works for us. Doesn't have to be fast. The thing is that word steadiness. So let's find a steady pace and just keep going at things at a steady rate on Monday. Let's not get caught up in haste too much, or get caught up in no movement too much either. It's more of a steady pace. What can we do? What can we manage hour by hour, minute by minute, or just to get through that day? So it feels to me like this is what's probably going to come out of the weekend, is starting the new week at a steady pace and finding that steady pace and rhythm that works for us. Now, a lot of that steady pace will come down to the state of our body. So if your body is feeling off or is not very well on Monday, your steady pace may be really slow. So just keep at it, keep consistent, keep steady. You might be feeling okay in your body on Monday, and your steady pace may be a little quicker. But it's this feeling of steadiness, of consistency, that we might find of benefit for us on Monday. And I was just thinking, it's Anzac Day. Monday we have dawn service and a couple of band gigs because of Anzac Day here. So yeah, that's going to be very interesting. Now I think of what I've got on Monday for me. So how will that work for you? How can you find your slow and steady pace on Monday? And then Tuesday, the 26th of April, and we have Gaia, card 33. And Gaia says spring, nature, listen, message, and life. Life is calling us. Some of us may find nature calling us too on Tuesday, but this is especially about life. It's about springtime. It's about reviving ourselves, breathing life back into ourselves again. If we're called to and are able to step out into nature, we might find that it's really helpful to listen and really pay attention and observe what nature is showing us. I know, like, I find nature quite interesting when I'm going through certain healing things. For example, when I went through a big separation issues back a couple of decades ago, where I went in nature at that time, which was a lot of places, I saw trees split in half, I saw things breaking in nature, and it was all this reflecting to me my current issue around separation. So I was seeing it in nature all around me from these different angles, and it was actually really revealing to help me be able to heal and release those separation issues. So depending on our current state will depend on how we see things. So whether it's what we're seeing in nature, what we're seeing in relationships, or what we're seeing in our life experience at this time. So what is life trying to tell you? What's life trying to teach you, especially on Tuesday? And how can you use that to help you heal, to help you release, and to help you reconnect with life again? You know that feeling when spring comes after a long cold winter, a long cold wet winter, and that feeling of spring, and you're just seeing life everywhere. The flowers are coming out, the buds are coming out on the trees, and the birds are singing, and things are warming up. The frosts and the snow are melting. So that feeling of life coming in again, it's that springtime feeling that wants to come in for Tuesday. So it feels like there's a lot of growth here, as well as a lot of life that's calling us forward. So that's Gaia for Tuesday. So I trust that resonates with you. So thank you so much. They are the cards for the week. I am going to pull the card for the theme in just a minute. So before I do, I want to thank you so much for connecting with me today. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to. And if you would love to connect more privately, please send us a message through our website. If you would love to learn more about me, if you'd love to learn more about these card decks or start working with your own, and lots of different things I have on offer at Temple of Balance, please visit templeofbalance.com.au. If you resonate with my videos, if you find them helpful, then maybe find something on my website that you can purchase to help support my work. My ability to be here is thanks to your support. So grabbing yourself a card deck or a meditation, some earrings or something like that helps me and hopefully also supports you. So thank you for your support. So I'm looking now for the best card for our theme for this week ahead, starting Wednesday the 20th of April through to Tuesday the 26th of April. So this card will help us see the bigger picture for this week ahead and help put all these days together somehow. This is a really important card to keep in mind as you're moving through the week. So the best card for the theme for this week ahead, the 20th till the 26th of April 2022, is this card here. It's an Animal Kingdom. I'm just trying to straighten these guys up behind here. We have an Animal Kingdom Oracle card, and it's this, which I can't see. Oh, it's the dragon, or a dragon. It's the water dragon. So the dragons, there's 5 dragons in this Animal Kingdom Oracle card deck. So the 5 dragons, the dragons are the most powerful cards in the deck. So they mean a little extra when they come up. They give me a bit of a zap of energy, if you like, oh, there's something important about this week, something powerful that's coming in. So the dragons are connected with the elements, and this particular dragon is the water dragon, card 24, and it says diving to new depths. And I feel like we are you, me, we are all potentially diving to new depths within ourselves, within our life. So are you ready to take your connection with yourself, your connection in your relationships, your connection with your life to a deeper level? And what does that mean? How can you do that? It means looking past the surface of things and how things appear to be on the surface, the things at face value. Can you drop under those things? Can you ask yourself questions so that you can go deeper with your healing? Can you meditate more or sit quietly and take some big deep breaths and sink further into your body? I like to imagine I've got a really comfortable chair sitting in my heart, and I imagine myself dropping into that chair and relaxing and deepening myself as I drop into my heart and as I drop further into what feels sometimes like a big ocean inside me, where I just want to drop down into that ocean and see what I can discover. So what can you take deeper in your life this week? And what can you connect with deeper on an emotional level, especially as that water element's very much aligned with emotions, creative energy as well, and moving with our flow this week. So I have already talked about depth coming up for Thursday, I think it was. So this is coming up again for our theme. So we may find in practical ways this week, we might want to ask the questions, get more information, do some research, get knowledge around an area that we're dealing with that we are not knowledgeable about at all. So gather information. Let's read, let's think, let's have conversations, let's make phone calls, let's seek advice from experts, this sort of thing, so we get more information. Information is valuable, and information takes us deeper under the surface. if it's the same as if we're in a situation this week where someone says something to us and we're confused. We don't get it. Or we might suddenly take it personal because that person's not fully communicating properly. So then we walk away feeling flat and heavy and upset perhaps. Instead of doing that this week, if we want to take things deeper, maybe we stop there and then we ask questions. What do you mean by this? I don't understand what you're saying. Can you help me understand this from another angle or something like this? So knowledge is power, and knowledge will take us deeper this week. So let's ask the questions, let's think about it, let's have the conversations. Let's not be afraid to speak up and get the information that we need so that we are better informed. So dropping deeper this week is our theme, and there is an added energy here of power from the dragon and mastery. It feels that some of us are really stepping into a masterful, awakened, activated state. So very exciting to have the water dragon. So thank you. Thanks for joining me today. Have a fantastic week ahead. Happy birthday, happy anniversary if you're celebrating. I will be back next Wednesday for the weekly guidance. In the meantime, please continue to check back on this recording with the replay to get your bearings as you proceed through your week, and keep an eye out for more healing support videos throughout this week as well. So take care of yourself, and thank you again for joining me today. Sending you so much love from my heart to yours. Thank you.